Warning. This is not a safe space. Leave your bullshit and feelings at the door.
Why are men being allowed to act like adolescents well into their 20s?
It's time for the most raw and unfiltered experience on the internet. So kick your feet up and grab a cold one. You have just entered the Man Cave. And now, here they are, winners of the self-proclaimed International Greatest Men Alive Award, Brad and Terry.
All right, thanks for joining us here in the Man Cave. I am Brad.
And I am Terry.
Hey, make sure to check us out online on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and listen to us on Google Play, SoundCloud, and on YouTube. But if you want the full no bullshit experience and the ability to win prizes, you're going to have to check us out over on Patreon, and we'll talk about that more just a little bit later.
Hey, man, pass me a beer. What do we got today?
All right, today we are drinking the Arrogant Bastard Ale. You Are Not Worthy, brewed in Escondido, California, and Richmond, Virginia.
Let's see how it tastes.
That's magnificent.
That's pretty hoppy, but
it's very
good.
Strong.
Yeah, it's good. What is it? Oh, it's over 7%. That's pretty good. Definitely hoppy, but it's good.
If you don't have balls, or if you don't have hair on your balls, don't try to drink it.
Well, some people get rid of the hair on their balls on purpose, but I'm not saying I'm one of those people. Let's move on to our topic.
Yeah. So we opened up with a question of why are men being allowed to act like adolescents deep into their 20s?
Right, and the reason that we brought this up is because of the recent shooting that happened in Jacksonville, Florida, where someone was involved in a video game tournament, specifically a Madden NFL tournament, and they lost, and then they turned around and they came back and shot the whole place up because they lost the tournament.
Yeah, and I don't condemn like men who play video games in general. That's not the fact that the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is there are plenty of men out there. Use the air quotes of men out there, boys out there, who are in their mid to deep 20s, who are still living at home, have no drive, and they just play video games all day, and they don't do anything with their lives. It's crazy to think, because I know where I was when I was mid-20s, take 25, for instance.
Right.
I was already married.
Mm-hmm.
I had a kid that was coming on the way, and I had a job. I was not living at home. I was living probably close to 1,200 miles away from where I grew up. And I hadn't been living in that place since the age of 18. And 18, I left the house, and I've never been back.
Right. I moved out of my parents' house when I was in my late teens, when I was 19 years old. And due to financial reasons, I had to move back in, and I hated it so much that I got out again as soon as I could. Because I felt worthless moving back in, because I had already experienced life outside of my parents' like protection, and now I had to move back. I felt like I was defeated, so I took the initiative and I got out.
Yeah, I don't understand the men who or the people, we'll call them people,
mm-hmm.
who don't have that urge of like wanting to be free and go out and live on their own. I get it. It's a dog eat dog world out there. It's a rough world out there. It's not always going to be pleasant. But, man, I could not imagine going back at 25 or 22, even when I had that bit of freedom to live on my own and live my own life, to go back to my parents' house and live under their roof.
Right.
Now, I know the bed was always there. I always had the ability to move back. They would have never told me no because they love me and all that kind of stuff. But I just could not move back for a long period, like and live for years and years, or never leave.
Right, and now you have people. It's almost becoming socially acceptable for people to just stay with their parents deep into their 20s and just never move out. And what are they doing with their life? Do they have a job? If you have a job, why aren't you living on your own?
Or saving? Okay, get a job, save some scratch, and then move out. Like,
right,
save up enough of a down payment.
Right. I understand completely that not every job allows you to make ends meet with your own place. There's definitely a lot of times you jump into a part-time job when you first start working, and you can't necessarily live on your own with a part-time job. That's what my issue was, and that's why I had to move back in with my parents. But you can definitely manage your money wisely and save up, and then you can leave that situation and get out on your own, live your own life.
Yeah, crazy. It's a crazy idea. And then, like you said, where society has almost normalized this, where it's okay.
Right.
That's a huge fear for me, having two boys, that they will not leave the nest. I'm not saying I'm going to kick them out when they're 18, but I want them to go and blaze their own path and
Right.
make their own way. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is leaving your comfort zone of mom and dad's place. We posted it on Facebook. Nobody ever became great by staying in their comfort zone.
Right.
So get out of that comfort zone and go do something awesome with your life and go live life to the fullest.
But I think the real question behind it is, why is this becoming socially acceptable? What's going on in the teenage years that is making kids and parents both think that it's okay for someone in their mid to late 20s to stay at home with their parents? What's happening? What's different now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the easy way to say it is, have we become lazy to not, or have we become undriven?
We as who? Parents or
Both.
kids? Or yeah.
Well, the kids have become undriven, and then the parents have become undriven to drive their kids to want to leave the house and go do something on their own.
Right, and I think that it's definitely the finger gets pointed a lot at the whole video game thing, which we kind of touched on at the beginning here, because that whole the Jacksonville shooting is what brought this whole conversation up. And yeah, a lot of people will blame it on the video games, but I play video games.
Yeah.
I don't think that can necessarily be the scapegoat of this, is playing video games, because I'm able to manage my time wisely in terms of I go to work, I pay my bills, I go to the gym, and I play video games as a hobby. But I do think one issue with it is the people that let it dominate their life, and that's all that they do. And especially when it begins to dominate their life at a young age, they never really get out of it. And the parents, now you see parents are paying for lessons for their kids to learn how to play video games better.
Yeah, Fortnite.
Yeah, so it's like you're sending your kids to go learn how to play a video game better because they're addicted to the video game, and then you get upset when they're 28 years old, still living at your house playing video games. But it's like you encourage that behavior.
Yeah, 30 years ago, we used to pay someone to come into the house to tutor your kid on things like math and English.
Or to play an instrument.
You took lessons. Now we are paying somebody to tutor you in the art of playing Fortnite.
Right.
What sense does that make? Is that what you really are? Is that what you're really investing your time and effort in, is to see if your kid can grow up to be a professional game player, or you are investing in him to sit in his room in front of electronics and do nothing? It's mind-boggling that parents would even spend a dime in trying to better their kids in that realm of life.
Right, and I don't think that playing video games is a bad thing at all. But
No,
I
not at all.
I don't think that it should necessarily be encouraged to the level that it's being encouraged. Yes, it is possible to have a profession playing video games nowadays. That is possible. But do you want to put your child in the position of, okay, you've put 100% of everything into playing a video game now, which is you're talking a fraction of a minuscule percentage of people can make a living off of this, and when it doesn't work out, now what do they have? They didn't go to school. They were playing video games. They didn't learn any skills. They were playing video games. So now they're 28, 30 years old, trying to record themselves on the internet playing video games?
Yeah, when they're 28, 30 years old, still living in your house and playing video games with no drive.
And don't get me wrong, we're definitely always going to be the ones to tell somebody, go chase your dream, go do this,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah.
but the thing with video games is it can be addictive to play a video game, and you need to be able to figure out, is my dream really to become a professional video game player, or am I just addicted to this game?
Yeah, am I being lazy and just sitting in my room because playing a video game is much easier than socially interacting with people or going outside and riding a bike?
Right.
Because if you ride a bike long enough, you get hot and sweaty, and it's a pain in the ass, and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, so it just I don't.
Maybe uncomfortable is not the word. I don't mind it. I don't mind being hot and sweaty, but you know, when you've grown up doing nothing but play video games, you know, being hot and sweaty can be uncomfortable for you.
Right. And, you know, then, like we said, they turn around 30 years old, and now they're living in their parents' basement, you know, and they're trying on men's lingerie down in their parents' basement, like we saw, like that post that we
pulling
had.
out their dad's lingerie.
Yeah,
not their mom's lingerie. It's the dad's lingerie. Yeah, we saw it on, not to be political, but we saw it on Louder with Crowder, so we posted it to the Facebook page, where it's called Home Mystery, but it's spelled HOMMEMYSTERE. So
it should be Homo Mystery.
Trust me, with some of these things, there's no mystery of what's going on down there. They are very small. So if you want to go shop for some of this stuff, you go to shop.homemysteryhowidisspelledit.com, and they have all kinds of great things. They have panties, G-strings, bras, lingerie, all kinds of things on sale.
What kind of self-respecting dude would ever be able to, let alone put these on, but go on the internet and shop for it?
There's a reason why there's no men's faces in any of these pictures.
They're all embarrassed.
They're all like,
imagine the dude who's like, oh, I want to get into male modeling. You think you're going to be like on the Abercrombie thing? Like, oh yeah, I work out. I'm going to be on the Abercrombie thing. It's like, you come in for your shoot, and it's like, okay, man,
throw this thong on.
Put this thong and this bra on. And then the dude's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, just the look of disgust.
Yeah.
There's the Vixen lace panty, the Miranda Garter, the pinstripe panty brief, the Carmen lace bodysuit, the Nikita Teddy, like the FG string / thong.
I'd love to see how much money this company's actually making.
I don't know, but they broadcast that they are shipping orders worldwide to Australia, Belgium, Canada, Germany, Netherlands, Singapore, Sweden, Switzerland, United Kingdom, and United States.
That's unbelievable.
It's worldwide.
I understand like the Singapore and Thailand places.
Yeah,
where,
they like
where,
little, you know,
where the lady boys are.
Lady boys, yeah.
Yeah. But what was the other post that you had that was absolutely ridiculous? The mouth exercise.
Yeah, it's called the Jazzercise, not Jazzercise, but the Jazzercise.
When I first played that video, I didn't really understand what I was looking at, because it almost looked like, at first I thought, oh no, the Tide Pod Challenge is back. That's what I first thought.
Yeah.
And then I see the guy aggressively chewing this thing, and I was just extremely confused.
He's not chewing; he's working his jawline.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. You know what also helps shape your jawline? Losing some weight.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine walking into a gym and there's just a dude doing some curls, but also has this like thing in his mouth, and he's just.
I posted on it. If I saw that, I would tell them to leave or take it out.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing in here, man?
Realistically, it looks like a ball gag.
It does.
It really does.
It really does look like a gag. Yeah.
Maybe there's something else underlying that when he goes home, it's no longer a Jazzercise. It is the ball gag, and he slips on the teddy and does all kinds of freaky deaky shit in the comfort of his bedroom.
I don't know about you, but I eat at least 3 times a day, and I feel like my jaw moves enough as I eat and as I talk throughout the day to where my jaw doesn't necessarily need much more exercise.
Oh no. I don't. My jawline does not need exercise.
Who's buying these things, man?
And they're like $35 a piece.
Get out of here.
For a piece of plastic you shove in your mouth to bite on. And it's got a string that goes around it to help keep it in. It's literally, like you said, you could probably buy a ball gag at a sex toy shop for half the price and just chew on that.
I guess, man.
Can you imagine if you pay money to get this personal trainer, and like, okay, so for our first exercise, we're going to superset bicep curls with a Jazzercise.
Oh, I think I would laugh my ass off.
What are we doing? And don't worry, I'll just count to 10 for you.
Okay, there it is, right there. That's so we did our pet peeves a while back, and this one kind of slipped my mind because it is one of my biggest pet peeves when I see personal trainers at the gym training somebody who they've obviously been paid by this person, and all they're doing is standing there and counting to 10 for them.
And by the way, some of them get paid very, very good money to do it. It's insane. And yeah, they are literally just reading from a list of exercises to do, and then they're like, okay, so we're going to do tricep extensions. Go ahead and start. 1, 2, keep it up.
Yep.
3, good job. 4, like,
Yep.
that's what I'm paying you to do.
Halfway there.
Yeah.
2 more.
Yeah, at 5. Every time at 5, you are always halfway done with them. You're never going to do a set of you're never going to do more than 10 reps and 3 sets of any one exercise.
Man, have you ever paid for a personal trainer before?
No.
So I have only once in my life, and that was C.T. Fletcher himself.
Yes.
Which you can't compare to any other personal trainer.
No, because I would say it's a personal trainer, but it's more of a drill sergeant.
Right.
Just constantly beating you down mentally and verbally.
Right. And even when I first started working out, I would work out with people who had a little bit of experience with it, and I wouldn't want them to just stand there as I worked out. I would want them to motivate me.
Yeah.
In some way other than just counting for me. I can count. I went to school. I can count.
Yeah, I mean, by their standards, like a second grader could then be a certified personal trainer, because at that point they can read and they can count to 10.
Right.
That's all you got to do. Who's paying for that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna get my kids out there to be certified personal trainers if that's the only requirement.
And then sometimes you'll see these personal trainers that they'll have a client, they'll be counting for them, and the personal trainer himself is jacked. He's huge.
Yeah.
And then if you stayed at that gym just a couple hours longer when he goes to do his workout, it's nothing like what he just ran somebody else through. And it's like, I do not trust someone to train me if they're not going to practice the same thing that they do for me.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's got to be the same weight that he's doing,
Right.
but do the same exact stuff just at a lower weight.
Yeah, exactly. But then you have these other personal trainers that don't look like they've ever worked out before in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they got just the epic dad bod. Yeah.
I don't understand the one. Where does a man come off thinking that having this, like, I do not have a six-pack by any means necessary.
I mean, neither do I.
But I would like to think that I'm stronger than most dads.
Yeah.
And I am not content in having some beer gut that hangs out all the time. I don't want a dad bod.
No.
I want a yoked bod.
But some dudes strive for a dad bod.
And there's women out there, there's studies that show there are women out there that are actively looking for men with dad bods.
It's so odd.
It's weird. I'm sorry, not falling for it.
No.
I mean, I'm married, so I'm not out on the hunt for a woman, but I'm just saying there is no way in hell you're going to catch me out there trying to appeal to a woman with a dad, like by saying, I'm going to reshape my body into being a dad bod.
Yeah.
Insane. Low standards.
But what's the cause of the dad bod? Is it the beer gut? Because if it is, I don't know if I can put this beer down, because I've actually this is really good.
Yeah,
The Arrogant Bastard. It is the first time I've had it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite. But so I read something the other day. I think I found a new beer that we're going to have to try. It's going to take me a minute to get it in.
Okay.
But there's an article I read, and here's the title.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beer made from the vaginal lactic acid of hot models, and it's finally went on sale. You don't seem too excited.
Excuse me?
You heard that right. The beer made... I'm going to put my radio voice on. The beer made from the vaginal lactic acid of hot models finally goes on sale.
So what actually... does it describe the process of making this beer?
It doesn't really describe the process, but it describes it as, imagine the woman of your dreams, your object of desire, her charm, her sensuality, her passion. Now you can try how she tastes, feel her smell, hear her voice. And that it went on sale on July 28th.
So I refuse to drink that if you buy it. But
you won't even try it?
No.
I bet it tastes like shame.
I bet you it does too. But
you ever wonder what a stripper pole tastes like if you licked it? Drink this beer.
I might already know what that tastes like.
You bad boy.
But I highly doubt that the models that are probably pictured in whatever you're looking at are...
She's all right. She's pretty good looking.
She is, and I highly doubt that it is her vaginal lactic acid that is in whatever beer you're drinking.
That's absolutely probably the most disgusting idea for putting in a beer. Like, I like women, but I'm just saying I don't want a beer that has lactic vaginal fluid in it.
No, that sounds...
I would normally say it would taste like shit, but that's the wrong hole. I don't know. That's the type of beer only pussies drink. But I can't stop. You got to stop me. Oh man! And then you go on to read. Each bottle comes with a peel away label. I can barely read this with keeping a straight face. It has a label that features the model whose vagina was apparently swabbed to help create the alcohol, and it says, "And of course, the best sex position you should be in while consuming the lactic acid infused liquid."
Get out of here. Yeah. You're making this shit up.
I'm not even making it up. And the crazy thing is, they're like, oh, here's the best sex position you should be in. I doubt any of them have a picture of a dude with his dick in his hand, because that's all the dudes that are drinking this are really doing.
That's absolutely ridiculous, man. But I think that... it's time to tell our viewers about the special episode that we plan on coming out with here soon. We definitely have some special things in the works.
Yeah, so we've been kind of talking. Every time we record, we crack open a beer and have a beer. But what would happen if we, cracked open 10 or 12 beers and then hit record? So we came up with thinking, we'll do a special. But what are we going to call it? Like, we can't just call it the Man Cave and have a normal episode, because it's not a normal episode. We're not usually, shit-faced when we record the special. And there it was, sitting right in front of our face. We're just going to record the shit-faced special.
So here's my twist on it. So you said 10 or 12 beers, and that sounds great, but I will be supplying the alcohol here. And we're going to be drinking whiskey, and we're going to be smoking some cigars.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring my favorites. Some Avo Heritage is my favorite cigar.
Okay.
I buy a box of them every year on my birthday, and I absolutely love them. So we're going to...
Yeah, and I think we talked about what we'll probably do is maybe move the studio outside to enjoy the great outdoors. So if you listen to it, you might hear a few things in the background, but it's because we're enjoying the great outdoors with our microphones out there, making an outdoor studio, kicking back, having some drinks and smoking some cigars, and just hitting record and see what happens.
Yeah, and also for our patrons, we're going to, real soon here, we're going to roll out man cards. And basically what those are going to be, it's going to be like a wallet-sized metal card that is also a bottle opener. And we're going to send those out to you. So stay tuned to the Facebook and Patreon pages here soon, and we're going to post a picture of what those are going to look like, and we'll let you know when we actually ship them out.
And don't forget to follow us on Facebook at Official Man Cave Podcast, on Twitter at The Man Cave 14, over on Instagram at The Man Cave Podcast, and on YouTube. But like we said earlier, if you want the full, no safe space, no bullshit experience, check us out and subscribe to us over on Patreon. For only $1, you'll be entered to win a UKEG 64-ounce stainless steel growler and all kinds of prizes that we're going to give away. Again, like I said, just for $1, you're going to win You're going to have the chance to win a $140 fully pressurized growler. And for $5 a month, you'll not only get entered in to win the prizes, you'll get exclusive access to special podcast episodes, exclusive access to tell us what you want us to talk about, and give us feedback on the topics from every podcast.
Hey, and a special thank you to our current patrons. Thank you, Lance, Alex, Rachel, Zach with a K, Zach with an H, and Mark. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. But hey, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay with us. We'll see you next time here in the Man Cave.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Any real man would follow us on Patreon for exclusive content and prizes at patreon.com/The Man Cave Podcast. The Man Cave. No safe spaces, no bullshit.